In the early weeks of August 2025, a subtle but notable change was observed among the members of the globally recognized K-pop group BTS. Among the fans, widely referred to as ARMY, subtle interactions and unexpected behaviors sparked curiosity and speculation, particularly surrounding members Taehyung, Jungkook, Jimin, and Jin. At the center of the discussion was a private dinner attended by Jin and Jungkook, a meeting that was reportedly arranged quietly without broader knowledge within the group. Sources familiar with the events confirmed that the dinner was a casual one, ostensibly intended to discuss ongoing projects and schedule arrangements. However, its private nature immediately caught the attention of observers when it became known through subtle social media hints and indirect confirmations from insiders. While the dinner itself was described as unremarkable in terms of conversation topics, the indirect consequences on interpersonal dynamics among group members became the subject of speculation. Among the dynamics affected was the relationship between Jungkook and Taehyung. According to analysts who study celebrity behavior and group dynamics, private meetings among members can sometimes trigger perceptions of exclusion or favoritism, even if no explicit intention is involved. In this case, the secrecy of the dinner raised questions about whether Taehyung felt intentionally left out, leading to observed distance in subsequent group interactions. Notably, observers highlighted that following the dinner, Taehyung appeared to limit his interactions with Jungkook during practice sessions, public appearances, and recording schedules. While professional decorum was maintained, casual exchanges and collaborative gestures were reportedly reduced. This subtle shift did not go unnoticed by fans or internal team members. Analysts suggested that in high-profile groups like BTS, even minor changes in member interactions can trigger broader narratives among fans and the media, often resulting in the amplification of perceived tensions. Concurrently, Jimin's role became a point of discussion. Sources indicate that Jimin, known for his close bonds with both Jungkook and Taehyung, may have exhibited signs of concern or cautious observation. While no explicit conflict or verbal confrontation was reported, some insiders suggested that Jimin's involvement could be interpreted as protective or mediating, particularly in the context of perceived exclusion during the dinner. Observers noted that such dynamics are not uncommon in tightly knit performance groups, where interpersonal trust and balanced attention are crucial to maintaining harmony. Further analysis of available social media activity revealed indirect hints that fans interpreted as signs of tension. Comments on shared posts, subtle changes in captions, and the timing of interactions between members provided fertile ground for speculation. While no official statement was released by the management company, HYB, the absence of clarification allowed narratives to form freely, with social media platforms serving as both a magnifying lens and a speculative arena. Industry insiders noted that private meetings, while routine for planning purposes, carry inherent risks when visibility is limited. In this case, the private dinner between Jin and Jungkook, though professionally oriented, unintentionally triggered perceptions of preferential treatment. These perceptions, whether accurate or not, played a role in influencing group dynamics, particularly in relationships already characterized by strong bonds and mutual expectations. Meanwhile, Jungkook maintained a professional demeanor, continuing scheduled activities and interactions with all members. Analysts noted that Jungkook's focus on responsibilities likely mitigated potential escalation, but the indirect consequences of the dinner persisted in subtle behavioral changes among other members. Taehyung's distance, for instance, was observable but did not disrupt scheduled performances or rehearsals. The dinner incident illustrates a broader phenomenon in group dynamics. Private, seemingly innocuous interactions can produce ripple effects that extend beyond the immediate participants. In environments where members share intense work schedules, public scrutiny, and personal bonds, even minor perceived exclusions or preferential interactions can shape behavioral patterns and fan interpretations. In this case, the dinner between Jin and Jungkook served as a catalyst, highlighting underlying sensitivities and the importance of transparent communication. In the days following the private dinner between Jin and Jungkook, subtle yet noticeable shifts in interpersonal dynamics began to emerge among BTS members. Observers, both within the industry and among the fan community, noted changes in interactions that suggested a recalibration of relational boundaries, particularly between Taehyung and Jungkook. While professional responsibilities continued uninterrupted, the patterns of engagement, eye contact, physical proximity, and collaborative exchanges indicated a level of caution and restraint not previously observed. Analysts familiar with group cohesion emphasize that such shifts often occur when members perceive potential imbalances in attention or inclusion. In this instance, the exclusivity of the dinner acted as a trigger. Although Jin's presence was entirely professional, his close association with Jungkook during the event inadvertently created a situation in which Taehyung appeared to reassess his position within the interpersonal hierarchy of the group. Within BTS, where members are accustomed to high visibility and frequent collaborative decision-making, even minor private interactions can have magnified effects. Taehyung's subsequent behavior was characterized by measured engagement. Interactions with Jungkook were brief, often task-focused, and lacked the informal warmth previously noted in rehearsals and casual moments. While these changes were not disruptive in a formal sense, they were consistent enough to suggest that perceived exclusion had tangible consequences for group dynamics. Jimin, positioned between Jungkook and Taehyung both socially and professionally, played a mediating yet complex role in this evolving situation. Sources suggest that Jimin's behavior reflected an awareness of potential tension, manifesting in cautious observation and occasional interjections designed to maintain cohesion. Analysts interpret these actions as indicative of a member attempting to balance allegiance, empathy, and group performance requirements. Jimin's involvement, while subtle, was noted in both public appearances and internal documentation of rehearsal dynamics, where he appeared to monitor interactions and adjust his positioning relative to Taehyung and Jungkook. Fans and observers noted that social media activity during this period became increasingly scrutinized. While no direct statements or posts confirmed any interpersonal strain, nuanced behaviors, such as delayed responses to messages, selective engagement with content, and controlled visual framing during shared posts, were interpreted as signs of underlying tension. These interpretations, while speculative, were consistent across multiple fan communities and drew attention to the indirect impact of the private dinner on broader perception. Furthermore, analysts observed that the dinner's indirect consequences extended beyond immediate member interactions. Scheduling and collaborative planning began to reflect a more structured approach, with Taehyung and Jungkook often assigned to separate tasks or positioned at slight physical distance during recordings. While these adjustments were framed as operational efficiency measures, insiders suggest that they may have also served to mitigate perceived discomfort or friction resulting from the dinner incident. Jimin's role continued to intersect with these operational adjustments. While maintaining professional standards, he reportedly engaged in efforts to foster indirect communication and reassurance between the two members. These measures, subtle as they were, highlighted the complex interplay of professional obligation, personal bond, and the nuanced management of perceived social tensions within the group. Observers also noted that Jungkook maintained his characteristic focus and professionalism, ensuring that tasks were completed efficiently and group objectives remained on track. Despite any underlying relational shifts, Jungkook's engagement with both Taehyung and Jimin adhered to expected professional norms. However, the indirect effect of the dinner, manifested in Taehyung's cautious approach and Jimin's mediating role, introduced a layer of complexity to what would otherwise be routine group interactions. Industry experts analyzing high-profile group dynamics emphasize that these phenomena are not unusual in contexts where multiple interpersonal bonds coexist alongside professional obligations. The private dinner, though seemingly minor in content and duration, acted as a catalyst that exposed sensitivities, reassessed relational priorities, and revealed subtle hierarchical considerations among members. In such settings, behaviors that might appear neutral to outsiders often carry layered meanings within the group's social ecosystem. Moreover, the dinner underscored the importance of perceived inclusion. Taehyung's behavior, Jimin's mediation, and Jungkook's continued professionalism collectively illustrate how individual actions and perceptions can produce a complex network of indirect effects. These effects are amplified in highly visible environments, where fans and media entities actively interpret subtle signals and assign meaning, further shaping group perception and behavior. The emerging distance was not overtly confrontational. There were no recorded arguments, public disputes, or formal complaints. Instead, the change was subtle, observed in nuanced body language, modified engagement patterns, and the allocation of tasks in professional settings. This distinction is important. While interpersonal shifts were evident, they did not compromise group functionality, performance standards, or public-facing activities. As Chapter 2 unfolds, it becomes evident that the private dinner between Jin and Jungkook acted as a focal point for a sequence of indirect consequences. These consequences manifested through behavioral shifts, relational recalibrations, and mediating interventions, highlighting the delicate balance of personal and professional dynamics within BTS. Understanding these patterns provides insight into how private events, even those conducted with professional intent, can ripple through tightly knit groups, shaping interactions and perceptions in nuanced but measurable ways. Ultimately, the subtle distancing, Jimin's mediating involvement, and Jungkook's steady professionalism collectively define a landscape in which indirect consequences become as significant as overt actions. This chapter establishes the foundation for analyzing subsequent developments, where these interpersonal adjustments continue to influence group behavior, scheduling, and the perception of cohesion, providing a detailed framework for understanding relational dynamics in high-profile collaborative environments. Following the subtle shifts in interpersonal dynamics among BTS members after the private dinner between Jin and Jungkook, social media quickly became a lens through which fans and observers attempted to interpret and understand the evolving situation. Platforms such as Twitter, X, Instagram, and fan forums reflected heightened scrutiny of every post, comment, and visual detail shared by the members. While the dinner itself was not publicized, the indirect effects were widely analyzed and speculated upon by the global fanbase. Analysts noted that social media activity during this period exhibited patterns consistent with perceived relational changes. Fans paid particular attention to the timing of interactions between Jungkook and Taehyung, noting that replies, likes, and shared content were fewer or strategically delayed. Although these behaviors can occur for a variety of reasons unrelated to interpersonal tension, the context of the recently discovered private dinner led observers to interpret them as indicative of distance or discomfort. Hashtags and discussion threads proliferated rapidly. Fans debated the potential impact of the dinner on group cohesion, often hypothesizing about Jimin's mediating role or Taehyung's observed restraint. Social media activity became an interpretive arena where speculation was presented as analysis, and small cues were amplified into broader narratives. Commentators noted that in high-profile groups, perception often equals reality in the eyes of the fan community, further influencing group reputation and individual member image. In addition to engagement patterns, visual cues captured on social media were closely examined. Observers analyzed photographs and video footage from rehearsals, public appearances, and informal recordings. Differences in physical proximity, gestures, and eye contact between Jungkook and Taehyung were highlighted and discussed extensively. Even minor deviations from previously established norms were dissected for meaning, resulting in a highly detailed, albeit speculative, understanding of internal group dynamics. Jimin's role, once again, became a subject of focus. Analysts noted that his actions, whether maintaining strategic positioning or subtle interventions during rehearsals, were interpreted by fans as attempts to mediate or prevent escalation. The dual perception of Jimin as both a peer and a stabilizing influence highlighted the complexity of interpersonal dynamics within BTS. While direct conflict was absent, the combination of perceived exclusion and careful mediation created a narrative of tension that resonated widely among fans. The fanbase's interpretation of these events also reflected broader patterns observed in entertainment groups under public scrutiny. Private events that are perceived as exclusive can catalyze widespread speculation, regardless of intent or outcome. In this case, the dinner's secrecy, coupled with observable changes in behavior, created fertile ground for narratives of jealousy, favoritism, and interpersonal conflict. Fans, acting as analysts and commentators, constructed elaborate interpretations that extended beyond the immediate factual context. Media and entertainment observers also noted that while no official statements were made by HYB or the members themselves, the absence of clarification contributed to the amplification of these narratives. In high-profile groups, silence can function as a signaling mechanism, intentionally or unintentionally, encouraging speculation and shaping perceptions. The indirect consequences of the dinner thus expanded into a broader discourse, influencing how the group's internal cohesion was perceived by both fans and industry professionals. The interplay between social media perception and member behavior created a feedback loop. Observers suggested that the heightened scrutiny may have reinforced Taehyung's measured engagement with Jungkook, prompting additional caution in interactions to avoid misinterpretation. Similarly, Jimin's mediating actions may have been influenced by fan speculation, as maintaining visible cohesion became increasingly important in the context of public observation. Jungkook, maintaining his focus on professional responsibilities, continued to interact appropriately with all members, yet even his neutrality was subject to interpretation within this highly engaged fan environment. Industry analysts emphasized that such feedback loops are a common phenomenon in highly visible collaborative groups. The combination of private events, subtle behavioral changes, and intensive public observation can lead to patterns of interaction that are more influenced by perception than by objective conflict. In this case, while no explicit confrontation occurred, the indirect consequences of the dinner were magnified by social media attention, resulting in a complex web of perceived tensions and relational recalibrations. The cumulative effect of these dynamics was observable in professional and social contexts. While rehearsals, recordings, and public appearances proceeded as scheduled, the nuanced behavioral adjustments, physical distance, controlled interactions, and carefully managed social media activity revealed the presence of an indirect but significant relational recalibration. Analysts highlighted that such patterns, while subtle, can influence group cohesion, task allocation, and the overall perception of harmony within high-profile teams. As subtle shifts and perceived tensions among BTS members drew increasing attention, internal management and operational oversight became a focal point. Within HYB, the management company responsible for the group's coordination and strategic planning, officials closely monitored both observable member interactions and public perception. While no formal public statement was issued regarding the private dinner between Jimin and Jungkook, internal channels were reportedly utilized to assess potential risks and implement measures designed to maintain group cohesion. According to industry sources, management undertook a multifaceted approach. First, they analyzed recent rehearsal footage, social media activity, and scheduling logs to identify any patterns of behavioral change among members. This review was aimed at distinguishing between routine professional adjustments and potential interpersonal issues that could impact performance or public perception. Analysts noted that management often relies on subtle behavioral indicators in high-profile groups, as direct confrontation or formal inquiry may inadvertently exacerbate tension. One key measure reportedly implemented was the strategic adjustment of task allocation and rehearsal pairings. Following the dinner incident, HYB coordinators assigned specific collaborative tasks in a manner that balanced both operational efficiency and relational sensitivity. Taehyung and Jungkook were occasionally placed in separate rehearsal units or rotated through different production teams to prevent situations in which perceived discomfort could escalate. These measures, while operationally justifiable, also served a preventive function, mitigating the indirect consequences of the private dinner. Communication channels among members were also closely managed. While formal directives were unnecessary due to the professional maturity of the group, management facilitated structured internal briefings and scheduled check-ins. These interactions were designed to maintain transparency and ensure that all members were aligned on upcoming projects, expectations, and responsibilities. Observers noted that maintaining clarity in internal communication is a common strategy in managing high-profile collaborative teams, particularly when indirect relational shifts are detected. Jimin's role as a mediating presence was acknowledged within management strategy discussions. Sources indicate that HYB coordinators recognized his position as both a peer and a stabilizing influence, encouraging subtle interventions without disrupting workflow. While no explicit instructions were given to Jimin regarding interpersonal management, his natural mediation was noted as an asset in maintaining cohesion during a period of heightened observation. Management also monitored public channels for fan speculation and media narratives. Analysts suggested that in situations where private events are interpreted through highly active fan communities, proactive monitoring of public sentiment is essential. While HYB did not issue clarifying statements, the company reportedly tracked discussions and potential points of escalation, ready to intervene if misunderstandings threaten to affect public perception or group operations. In addition to monitoring and scheduling adjustments, indirect measures were reportedly implemented to encourage positive interpersonal engagement. Coordinated rehearsal breaks, shared creative sessions, and structured collaboration opportunities were subtly integrated to allow natural rapport building without forcing interaction. These strategies aim to preserve both